Delicious Menachem and the Chanan and okay. Elohim ben Aprokim. So we're on the bottom of Yudalid Amud Aleph, all the way on the bottom. So remember Rabbi Yehuda's Shita in the Mishnah was that between Vayomer and Emet V'Yatziv, according to the Tanna Kama, you're allowed to be mafstik. It's Ben Aprokim. Rabbi Yehuda says no. Between Emet V'Yatziv, lo yafstik. It's like the Emtza HaPerek, because you have to make sure that Hashem Elokechem is near the word Emet V'Yatziv. Okay. So Omer Abavo, Omer Abiyachin Aloch Rabbi Yehuda, the Omer Ben Elokechem Emet V'Yatziv lo yafstik. Rabbi Yehuda says the Halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda that says that you should not be mafstik between Elokechem and Emet V'Yatziv. Omer Abavo, Omer Abiyachin Aloch Rabbi Yehuda D'chtiv. And he said, what is the reason for Rabbi Yehuda that says that you cannot be mafsik? Because it says, V'Hashem Elokim Emet. There's another pasuk in Yirmiyah. The prophet Yirmiyahu Hanavi says, V'Hashem Elokim Emet. So therefore, we don't want to be mafsik between Ani Hashem Elokechem Emet. Because whenever we describe Hashem Elokechem, we want to describe him as Emet. And since the first word in the next paragraph begins with Emet, we make sure that they stay together. And if you're mafsik, then you just separated them. That's the reason. So the question is like this: Chosev Omer Emet or Ena Chosev Omer Emet? Okay, so you finish your Shema. Don't be mafsik. Make sure you stay on Hashem Elokechem Emet. Now that you're starting the next paragraph of Emet V'Yatziv, should you say the word Emet a second time, or no? I already said it when I said Ani Hashem Elokechem Emet. So he says in Rabbi Yochanan, you do have to repeat it. You don't. By the way, that's the halacha. I think even the Sfardim, they don't say over. Right? They say with the chazan. But after they say Hashem Elokechem Emet, they don't say Emet V'Yatziv, they say V'Yatziv. So, the Ashkenazim have a different shita, but that's just how you do it with chazan. We don't say anything. You just listen to chazan. Okay. There was someone that went to the Amud, it was the Chazan, the Shliach HaTzibur, and he heard, Rabbah heard him say Emet 2 times. Now Rabbah, we just saw, his opinion is, you don't say it twice. Amar Rabbah, Kol Emet Ve'emet Tafsedai. This guy has been gripped, he's been seized by Emet fever. So he just, he just doesn't stop saying it. It was like a sharp way of saying incorrect. There must be something deep about it, I don't know. How beautiful is the following. Shmaitata means things that we hear, Torah. Because when Rav Shmuel Bar Yehuda came, he said that they say in Ma'arava, Amri Ma'arava, Avit, Daber Abnei Yisrael, at Avit, in Eretz Yisrael, they say, Daber b'nei Yisrael v'amarta lehem, Ani Hashem Elokechem Emet. So, this is the way they say it. They start off the parasha of Vayomer, like this, Daber b'nei Yisrael v'amarta lehem, Ani Hashem Elokechem, Asher Hotzeiti etchem me'etz Mitzrayim v'etchem, Ani Hashem Elokechem Emet. So, actually, the Gemara doesn't say that he said that whole pasuk. But it's interesting. You're basically skipping out the whole middle of the parasha, right? And that's the great hearing that he heard. That's what Rabbi Yosef said. How beautiful is this? Amalei Abaye, my maluta. What's so great about that? V'homer Rav Kahana Amar Rav lo yatchil. Rav Kahana Amar Rav says that you don't have to start at all at night to say the beginning of Vayomer, because there's no tzitzit during the night time. The whole purpose is just for Zechirat Yitziat Mitzrayim, which is the last pasuk. So you don't have to just say the whole beginning at all. The Imit Chir, but Rav Kahana said if you do start, Gomer, finish the whole thing. But he's skipping around over here. So what's so great about what you heard in Ma'arava, that they do some sort of skip? They say the first 3 words of the first, second pasuk, and then they skip to the end. That's not here or there. So the Gemara says the Gemara, And if you tell me, that V'amarta Aleim is not a beginning. Meaning, he didn't even start yet. When Rav Kahana said, don't start, you haven't gotten there because you haven't spoken about tzitzit. You just said, speak to Bnei Yisrael and tell them. You know what you tell them? Ani Hashem Elokecha. You skip to the end. If you start tzitzit, speaking about the matter of tzitzit, okay, finish tzitzit. I haven't started tzitzit. And maybe everything's kosher here. Says the Gemara, he says in the name of Rav, that the words Daber B'nei Yisrael, that's correct, that's not at the beginning. Because that's basically kind of the beginning of every parasha. It doesn't say those words exactly, but it's just saying, speak to B'nei Yisrael. Like Daber Hashem Moshe Lemor. Kind of the same thing. I don't mean that, obviously, every word in the Torah, every single time is much to learn from it, and there's many secrets. But in the sense of saying Kriyat Shema at night, you're not saying anything that pertains to anything. The topic hasn't started. Let's say I tell you tonight, Daber B'nei Yisrael. Okay, I'm done. And someone you come home, your wife says, what was the topic tonight? I have no idea. So that's what the Gemara is saying. Daber B'nei Yisrael lo hava hatchala. That's not a beginning. But the Amarta Aleim, that's already hava hatchala. Maybe that's a beginning. And therefore, since we see Amarta Aleim is the hatchala, so then you're stuck. Because in Ma'arava, what did they do? They said, Daber B'nei Yisrael ve'amarta alehem. So now, according to Rav Kahana, you have to finish. So, therefore, Abaye's question to his Rabbi, which was Rabbi Yosef, is still standing. What's so great about what they do in the West, in Ma'arava and Eretz Yisrael? Now, why is ve'amarta alehem a hatchala? I would imagine, even though you still haven't said anything about the topic, so if your wife asks you what the topic is, you still don't know. I would imagine is because you're already hinting, you know what parasha he's talking about. Because there's only one time in the Torah that the Torah says, Daber B'nei Yisrael ve'amarta alehem. By the way, which is very, I don't want to speak about this now, but it's parenthetically, it's very odd. Daber is strength, speak harsh. Ve'amarta, soft. Which one? Make up your mind. Second of all, even if they meant the same thing, it's redundant, you're saying it twice. So if you look in the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, in the pasuk over there, it says beautiful words. But the point over here is that you already are hinting that you're already in the topic of tzitzit. So the Gemara says, I know that I'm going very, very fast, and I know that if you don't hold on tight, that you're not going to understand, and I'm apologizing.
So it's not 5 in the morning. Don't worry.
What?
It's not 5 in the morning. Move. It's fine.
It's fine. You're good. But the reason why is it's my fault. It's my fault, but I'm behind. Amar Papa, Kasavi. We're behind. Kasavi b'ma'arava. In the West, in Eretz Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem nanu ha'vatchala. Your whole question is based on the premise that ve'amarta alehem is a beginning, but you should know that in the West, there are public saying they didn't think that it's a beginning. Ad de'amar ve'asu lahem tzitzit. Like we just said, till you actually start the topic. Not a hint to know which topic you're in. The actual topic. Okay, so now everything is great. So, in the West, it was still not a beginning. Therefore, they said the first few words, which is not a real beginning, and then they went straight to Ani Hashem Elokecha. Amar Abaye says, okay, now I can understand it, but Hilkach, therefore, Anan Atchulim et Chalina. We're going to do some sort of hybrid over here. We're going to start. We'll start it to come Atchulim Marava. Because in Marava, that's what they did. And my Rebbe tells me that's a beautiful thing. So we'll do a beautiful thing, we'll start. But since we started, and we hold that is a start, so we'll follow Rav Kahana, and we'll finish off. The Ha'amar Rav Kahana, Amar Rav lo yatchil. Don't begin, but ve'im yitchil, gomer. So therefore, Rabotai, That's kind of what we do today, kind of, no? We start, like Marav, and then we finish. We do the whole thing. Chia Barav Omar, Chia Barav says, Amar ani Hashem Elokechem tzarich lomar emet. Lo amar ani Hashem Elokechem eino tzarich lomar emet. If you said that pasuk, you have to say emet, because the pasuk in Yirmiyah teaches you that whenever you describe Hashem as Hashem Elokim, you have to end off saying emet. But if you don't have to. Says the Gemara, what do you mean if you don't have to? But you have to mention the Exodus of Egypt. So how's there a way out? Like if you don't say that last pasuk, you don't have to say emet. But I have to say the last pasuk. Answers the Gemara, the Amar Hachi. What he meant was as follows: there's a way that you can get out of saying the last pasuk. Well, how? If you remember, this is a little reminiscent of the Gemara on the last page when it said that Rabbi, how did he say Yetziat Mitzrayim? He didn't stop the shiur. He only said the first pasuk. The rest of it he held was midrabanan. So he only stopped for Kriyat Shema. The Oraita, which was the first pasuk, was Torato Umnato. The last, but Zechiat Yetziat Mitzrayim, he used to say halacha. So he didn't say the pasuk either. So the Gemara says the same type of thing. There's another way of doing it. We say like this: Modim anachnu lach. We thank you, Hashem Elokeinu, shehotzeitam me'eretz Mitzrayim, that you took us out of the land of Egypt. Uftitam mi'beit avadim, and you redeemed us from the house of slaves. Ve'asita lanu nisim, and you made for us many miracles. Ugvorot alayam, and mighty ones by the yam. V'sharnu lach, and we sing to you. And Rashi says, what did we sing to you? The Gemara sounds like you stop here. No. Rashi says, look at the Rashi on the left, it's about 10 lines up from the Gemara. B'sharnu lach, michamocho ba'idim Hashem, ma'chutcha rovanecha agal yisrael v'hashkireh. Basically, you segue right in to the rest of Arvit. But you don't have to say the parashat tzitzit or the pasuk, L'ani Hashem Elokechem, according to Chia Barav. If you do, make sure you say emet ve'emunah kozot, because you have to put emet. But if, now, do you have to say that whole paragraph of ve'emunah kozot? I'm not sure. That's my kasha, I know exactly. I don't have 100%, but that's what he said. We're going back to the Mishnah. If you remember, the Mishnah said, why do you say Shema before V'hayam Shema? Don't tell me it's about order, because we see that we'll go out of order. Tosfot says over here. Because Shlach, Parashat Shlach in the Midbar is first, and Vayomer comes last. So obviously you're not so into order. You're more into proper sequence, meaning the right order is what's important here. So therefore he's saying, why would you put Shema before V'hayam Shema? V'hayam Shema seems to be more important because it's spoken to the masses, to the Rabbim, whereas Shema V'hafta is Yachid. So Rabbi Moshe Medresh said his great piece in the Mishnah that Shema is Kabbalat Ol Malchus Shemayim, and only then do you do V'hayam Shema, which is Kabbalat Ol Mitzvot. If you can't be Mekabel to do Mitzvot if you don't have a master. So first you accept upon yourself his master over yourself, and then V'hayam Shema. Tanya Rab Shema Yochai Yomer B'dinu. Really, what should have been is She'akdim Shema V'hayam Shema. Shema should have came before V'hayam Shema. Now, Rabbatai, this is not like what we just said in the Mishnah B'Shur B'Kacha. This is something else. This is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He has a different take on it. The Gemara is going to compare him soon to Rabbi Shur B'Kacha. So he says like this. Really, Shema should come before V'hayam Shema. Why? Makes sense. Shezel Lilmod V'zel Lamed. This one is about learning, V'dibar Tabam, learning Torah. And the next one is L'lamed, to teach. Now, if you don't learn first, you can't teach. So therefore, how are you going to teach your children? In the next parasha it says, V'limadatem otam et b'nechem. It's a Efshar, right? How are you going to do that if you don't do V'dibar Tabam? First you learn. So it's a very nice setup. First V'hafta is learning. Then V'limadatem otam is in V'hayam Shema, second. That's why we do it in that order.
Portion of Shema is the Hafta. That's what you mean by that.
Yes. Every time we say Shema, it's the whole parasha of Shema that comes in Parashat Ekev, in Vayetchanan, it's with Vehafta. Yes. The first parasha of Yeshua. Till Uvishara. So the Gemara says, and it also makes sense, says Rabbi Shimcha, V'hayam Shema L'Vayomer. V'hayam Shema comes before Vayomer. Shezeh Lilamed, change it. V'zeh La'asot. Because V'hayam Shema is to teach. And after you learn, then you teach your children, now you do, which is tzitzit. It's an action. Okay, so it's a very nice order. Says the Gemara, 1 second. What? Shema, when I say Shema, again, it means the first whole parasha. Atu Shema lilmod itbe lelamed v'lasot letbe. What? The first parasha. You made it sound like this one is only lilmod, the next one is only lilamed, and the next one is only lasot. The first one is lilmod, lilamed, and lasot. Why? Ve'aktiv v'shinantam levanecha. What's v'shinantam? Teach your children. So there you have it. Besides the dibartim, which is learning, you also have teaching. Ukshatam, uchtavtam. Tie the tefillin, write the mezuzot, that's action. The two, furthermore, the Hayam Shema v'lamed u'ti'itbe v'lasot lepbe. The Hayam Shema doesn't have any action. V'aktiv ukshatem, uchtavtam. Ela, says the Gemara Hachikam, this is what it means. Bedinu shetikdem, shetikadem Shema l'Hayam Shema yeshezeh l'lmod u'lamed v'lasot. What he meant to say is Shema has all three. But V'hayam Shema yeshezeh l'lmod u'lamed. Oh, sorry. V'hayam Shema l'Vayomer yeshezeh yeshua l'lamed v'lasot. And V'hayam Shema goes before Vayomer because it has two out of the three. It has teaching and doing. Vayomer and Ba'el lasot bilvad. And Vayomer only has lasot. That's really what Rabbi Shimon was saying. The first parasha has all three. Lilmod, Lilamed, and Lasot. The second one has two, Lilamed and Lasot. There is no pasuk of the Dibarta Ba in the second parasha. It's only the Limadetem Otam Tvenechem and Ukshatem Uchtatam. The last parasha doesn't say to learn or to teach, it just says, we're tzitzit. And therefore, it's a very 3-2-1. Says the Gemara, the Tepi Blame the Rabbi Shimon Kacha. Rabbi Shimon Kacha is very straightforward. Why did Rabbi Shimon Bechai just say the reason why the Shema comes before the Hayam Shema is because Shema is Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim, and the next one is Kabbalat Ol Mitzvot. Like we said, that comes first. It seems like the topic I can hear anyone goes before, but I found two things. One thing, okay, you should have said Rabbi Shimon Bechacha's reason. That's question number one. So the Gemara says Chada v'Odka. He's only adding it. Chada, number one, Rabbi Shimon Kacha, כדי שיקבל עליו או מחת שמיים תחילה. ואחר כך יקבל עליו או מצוות. ועוד, furthermore, משום יתבע הני מילי אחר נייתה. And the next reason is because it has all these other things of 3-2-1. Okay? Everything good. Rabbi Moshe Medresh v'anach tefillin. Rav washed his hands, said Kriya Shema, about that Rav is master Amora. He's the greatest Amora. So Gemara says so. The greatest Amora. Chutz Mishmuel. There's a Rashi like that here. There's a Rashi there that besides Shmuel, but really the Gemara says he was greater than Shmuel and Rav Asi. Rav, and most things that go back anywhere to Amorim come back to Rav throughout the whole Shas. So now, Rav is the Talmud of Rebbe, and Rav Moshe Yoder Kriyat Shema v'anach tefillin. He washed his hands in the morning, said Kriyat Shema, put on tefillin. Umatzli, then he said Shemona Esrei. Matzli is prayer. Prayer.
Rav is who? The actual name.
That's what we call him. His real name. What?
Yeah.
His name was Rav's name was really.
Rav.
No.
No, it was Praveen.
No. His name was Abba, I think. His name was Abba. Fine. So he washed his hands. I'll tell you an unbelievable thing. In Marami Pano, the Sefer Al Gilgulim. Can't tell it to the Ashkenazi crowd that they don't like this. Tell it to the Sephardi crowd, they like it. The Merami Pano, he has a Sefer called Sefer Al Gilgulim. He writes, who's a Gilgul of who? Who's who?
Abba Arika.
What?
Abba Arika was wrong.
Abba Arika? Okay, we'll check it out in the Gemara. Right, the phone is not a right, but Rabbi Google, that's what he says. Okay, we'll see. Rabbi Abba, yeah?
Rabbi Baraivo.
Rabbi Abba Ba'eva, yeah.
They called him Abba.
Yeah, okay, so he says over there, who's a nitzutz of who's neshama comes from who and this and that. He says that Rav and Shmuel, the neshamas of Rav and Shmuel went into Rashi and the Rambam. So you're right. Rashi is Rav, the Rambam is Shmuel. By the way, Shmuel was a great doctor, the greatest doctor in the Gemara. And the Rambam was a great doctor. And if you see where Rashi, his strongest masechet maybe, I mean, it's not for me to say, but in Chulin, Rashi is busy saying psak halach the whole time, not just explaining the Gemara. He says, and the halach is like this. After he explains the Gemara, and the halach is like that, and the halach is like this. And in Mominis, in the Choshen Mishpat, the Rambam is very strong. And the Gemara says that the halach is like Shmuel Bedini in Choshen Mishpat, and Rav B'Sturi. You see it all across. Just let me throw out there, just for Motzei Shabbos. Rav Moshe Medresh Kriyat Shema v'anach tefillin u'matzah. Rav washed his hands, said Kriyat Shema, then put tefillin on and prayed. Asked the Gemara, how did Rav do that? He said Kriyat Shema before tefillin or tefillin before Kriyat Shema? Of course, tefillin before Kriyat Shema, right? How do you know? Because that's what we do. But we only know from this Gemara. Because the Gemara proves it from a different Breita. The time we learned in the Breita. Hachofer kuchla met bekever, patur mekriyat shema min atfilah, min atfilah, mikol mitzvot ha'amurot patur. Someone is busy digging out a drawer. They dig into the wall to bury people in the walls of a cave. They're doing it now in Har Menuchot, by the way. If you're on the mountain Har Menuchot, you look on the other side. There's no room to bury people now in Yerushalayim anymore, and they're making thousands of graves, just like in the wall, like in the olden days. It's not too enticing. So, anyways, you do it from Kriyat Shema. So, it says over there you patu from all the mitzvot in the Torah. Why? Because ha'osek b'mitzvah patu b'mitzvah. Rashi quotes the Gemara Daf Yomi Aleph that we learned together. B'shivtecha b'veitecha. That means what do we learn from b'shivtecha b'veitecha? But if you're not b'veitecha sitting, but you're osek b'mitzvah, then you're patur min mitzvah. Okay. But then the Breita says like this: Higia zman kriyat shema, oleh v'notay yadav v'niach tefillin v'koreh kriyat shema u'mitpala. But if the time of kriyat shema came, then you have to come up from the cave, wash your hands, put tefillin on, say Kriyat Shema and pray. Gemara says, what? You told me you don't have to. Now you tell me at the time of Kriyat Shema you have to? Hagufa kasha. This itself is contradictory. Reisha mar patur. V'seifa chayav? How can that be? Understand? Doesn't make sense. Tell me you patur, you tell me chayav. The Gemara says, halo kasha. Seifa betrayed, reisha b'chav. The seifa that says you have to, so that there are two people. If there are two people, you have no excuses. You go up while your friend continues digging. Because the mitzvah is able to be performed. Maybe not as quick, but it's being done. Then you come down and he goes back up. But the ratio that says you're patur is if you're alone. If you're alone and you're the only person doing the mitzvah, you're patur for the mitzvah. Mikol makom kasher l'rav. Still, the Gemara is saying, alright, nice. You fixed up the Breita, you patched it up, you said exactly what's going on. But what do we take out of the Breita? The Breita says, when the time of Kriyat Shema comes, you wash your hands, you come up from the cave, you wash your hands, put tefillin on, and say Kriyat Shema. Look at that language. It doesn't say you say Kriyat Shema before tefillin. So why did Rav not follow this Breita? So the Gemara says, Rav Krav Yeshuv B'Kochas Tefillin. The Amar Ol Machat Shemaim Tchila V'Achach Ol Mitzvot. Rav loved the svara of Rabbi Shua ben Karcha in the Mishnah. He said the reason why we say Kriyat Shema before the Hayam Shema is because Shema is Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim, then comes mitzvot. So Rav took it one step further. He said, not only do I read it first, but I also make sure that I read Kriyat Shema before I do the mitzvot. The mitzvot is tefillin. I first want to be mikabel Ol Malchut Shemayim. I first want to say Kriyat Shema. So the Gemara says, wait. That's if you want to know. You're going to read two things. So which one has preference, or not preference, but which one should be said first? Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim, and then the reading of mitzvot. But Kriya liyasiyam yishamet. Did Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha ever say that the reading of Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim comes before the actual doing, the putting on tefillin? That he didn't say. He said the reading of mitzvot, but not the actual mitzvot. Sorry. So the Gemara says the two, and furthermore, misava like Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha. Does Rav anyways hold Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha? We need Coca-Cola here, I think.
Yeah.
People are everybody's yawning. We need some I think coffee. That's what you need. But I'm going to make a letter. You ready? So I want to tell you, there's a Gemara that says, Mea pe'amim b'tzar, yishalo b'tzar. 100 times. This is like 100 shiurim. Don't tell your wife, because then she'll say, next 100 mornings, you can't go. Stay home. But it's mamish, that could give a person chizuk, not to stay up when he's falling asleep. It's a very special type of learning. It's much greater than, in the morning, even though you're fighting sleep, which is also very special, but when you're at once you're at the shir, people are up. This one, with going to falling asleep, so it's a very great zchut. It's a greater zchut than a regular shir. The Omer Avki Barashi Zimnin Sagina Vakim Kamei Rav Maktim Moshe Yodu Mivorich Umaktim on Pirkin Umarach Tfilim Hodu Kori Kriyat Shema. Gemara is like this. He doesn't even go there from Shur B'Karcha. Because Rav Chia Barashi said that many times I stood before Rav, and the first thing he did was he washed his hands. He made Bekat Torah, Umat Milan Pirkin, and then he started learning Torah. Then he put Tefillin V'Hadar Kari Kriyat Shema, and then he said Kriyat Shema. Now, this is a very, very big deal in the Achronim, okay? It's like a real big deal. We could spend probably a good half an hour explaining this. But I'm not going. Don't worry. So what I'm going to do is just say one thing. That the Gemara is not asking from Umonach Tefillin V'Hadar Kari Kriyat Shema, that he put Tefillin. Because this is like a contradictory story in Rav himself. This is also Rav. Now Rav is putting Tefillin on before Kriyat Shema. That's not what the Gemara is asking. Some people almost didn't even have that girsa here. The Gemara, skip that for a minute. The Marshal talks about it, the Pnei Yeshua, the Tzlach, everyone on the page is like the Bach, long Bach here. The Gemara is asking for the fact that it says that he taught us Torah. The first thing in the morning was wash his hand, Birkat Torah, let's go learn Torah. Like the early morning shooter. That's a problem. Why? Because if you tell me that the reason why he said Shema before putting Tefillin on, okay, was because Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim comes even before the action, but so then he should be saying Kriyat Shema before he learns Torah, because Torah is the action. But we see the Rav, so that can't be the explanation for Rav of saying Kriyat Shema before Tefillin. That's the Gemara's question. And the Gemara says, maybe really Rav holds on what we said. Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim before the mitzvot. But the reason why he learned Torah before he said Kriyat Shema is because he gave a shiur at 5:20 in the morning. So there was no chiyuv to say Kriyat Shema, and that's why. So the Gemara says, Im kain, ma'as hadatei de Rav Chia Barashi. So the Gemara says, then what is Rav Chia Barashi telling us? What's the chidush? If he was telling you, hey, I want to tell you something, I was by Rav many times, and he learned Torah before Kriyat Shema, that would be a chidush. But then we would have a problem that he doesn't hold a Rabbi Shua ben Karcha. But now you want to get out of the problem and say, no. The time of Kriya Shema had not yet arrived. So if it hadn't arrived yet, so what's the big deal? That Rav woke up in the morning, what's the news? What's the big chidush? He washed his hands and he learned Torah. What else should he do? Of course he should be learning Torah. You're not saying a chidush in halacha. Says the Gemara. No, there's a chidush. Lafuki v'manda omer l'talmud. So many change it to l'talmud or the Mishnah ain't tzarich levarach. Kamash on the after Mishnah or the Talmud nami tzarich levarach. We had a machloket. When do you say Bekat Torah? Only on the words of Psukim, or even on Talmud. So his chidush was. Let me tell you what my Rebbe Rav did. Rav washed his hands, said Birkat HaTorah, and learned Gemara. So he was teaching you that Rav holds that you have to say Birkat HaTorah even for Gemara. That's okay. So the Gemara says, fine, very good, no problem from that story. Mikol Makom Kasha Rav. We still have a problem with Rav. The problem is, why did he say Kriya Shema before Tefillin? If there's a brayta that says otherwise, and the only way out would be saying like Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha. But Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha, anyways, doesn't really fit because he's only by a kriya l'kriya, by saying to saying, but not saying to doing. Okay? Saying to doing, of course you do first before you say. And we see in the brayta by the mate that that's what you do. So the Gemara says you're right. Shluchahu David. The story of Rav that he said Kriya Shema before Tefillin was when the shliach that was supposed to bring him Tefillin, he made a mistake, and he ruined it for Rav, and he brought the Tefillin late, and the time of Kriya Shema came, and he had to read Kriya Shema. He was worried that it should not pass, so therefore he said Kriya Shema, and then when he got the Tefillin, he put them on. But normally, Rav would not do that. Rav would put Tefillin on before Kriya Shema. And now, the Gemara is beautiful. It's going to go right into the next Gemara because you're going to see the reason for that. Anybody who reads Kriya Shema without Tefillin on is as if he's made Eidut Sheker Be'atzmo. Now, Rashi says, Lishtana Ali, I think the Mashal learns Pshat in the Rashi, means Lishtana Ali means like, the Gemara is saying in a nice way. It doesn't want to say what you're really doing. And Mashal says, what Rashi is alluding to is that what the person is doing is Chas v'Shalom, he's kind of saying testimony against not himself, but against Chas v'Shalom HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because he's saying, look, Hashem says, put Tefillin on. Big deal. You look, wear Tefillin, and he's making a joke out of it because he's not wearing Tefillin. Now, I once heard, I think the Chassam Sofer said that this Gemara means any time you say Kriya Shema. I think I heard that when the parasha of that Chanan came along, and he was doing Shnai Mikra V'Echad, he put tefillin on. In the middle of the day, not, of course he wore tefillin, and he said Kriya Shema. But he that's what I once saw. I can't remember clearly where I saw it, but I once saw that. I don't think that's the halacha mamash, but I'm just telling you, there is such a concept that any time you say this. Now, I want to say a little pshat there, if you don't mind. I don't know if it's true. Mamish, just perhaps. Every time you say a thing in the Torah, you have to be doing it. Otherwise, you're being made checker. Like, you say a parsha of Terumah, so you have to be giving Terumah. Then you're saying the word, you don't hold it. Well, I'm saying that Hashem commanded on the Kabbalah, all Machal Shemayim, and He commanded me to put tefillin on, which I'll get to in 5 minutes. Why do you have to?
The tefillin obligation is to put it all day. That's why.
Okay, but I want to. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it the whole day, but I'll do it. I'm getting to it. I want to be Mekabel Ol Machal Shemayim first. Let's say, like we said. Well, the Gemara didn't go for it, but why is it such sheker? I don't know if this is real pshat or not. I'm just thinking, perhaps, that it's specifically here because the Torah is telling you like this: Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Number one, believe that Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. How much should you accept that upon yourself? V'ahavta et Hashem, love Him. Love Him how much? With all your heart. That's it? No. With all your nefesh, with all your me'odecha, like the Gemara explains, all those things. anything else to be mekabel ol malchut Shemayim? Yeah. V'hayu adon men asher nitzav v'chayim al vavecha. It should be on your heart. V'shinantav vavecha. Teach them to your children. V'dibarta bam. Say them. Oh, I'm saying them right now. I'm doing. So part of the kabbalat ol malchut Shemayim of the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema itself includes what the Torah tells you encompasses this all these mitzvot in that parasha. The next thing is don't just say it. Don't just love me in your heart. Put it against your heart. Wrap it. So all of this I'm trying to be mekabel ol malchut Shemayim. That's the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema. So part of the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema itself is to show me how to do it and write it on your thing. If you're in a room while you're saying Kriyat Shema, have it on your doorpost, wrap it on your hand, and say it out loud. All these things are part of the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema itself. I know this is already it's a big chidush. So therefore the Gemara is saying, if you don't, so you're lacking in the testimony that you're really being the Kabbalah ol malchut Shemayim. And you're saying, Kabbalat ol malchut Shemayim to me is not so, it's not like,
If that's the case, then you would be saying a Shema at nighttime, you have to put in your tefillin too.
No,
You don't.
Yeah, but you don't, because it's not tefillin. Because the Chacham didn't let me put the tefillin on. The Chacham didn't let me put the tefillin on. You're right. By the way, that kasha, one second, that doesn't do with me. Forget my pshat. It's a good kasha, you ask me. Even on the Gemara. So what do you do at night? I don't know the answer to that kasha. But whatever answer it is, it's good for me also. Meaning, I'm not really making it much worse, I don't think. Oh, you're saying it's lacking the whole Kriya Shema, so you're not even getting Kriya Shema. But they don't let me. I don't know. I hear. If you don't let me,
I let you privately, no?
I hear. I don't know. I hear your kasha. I have to think about it. It's a big chiddush what I'm saying. Anyways, I just want to throw it out there. Oh, so the Gemara says like this. Rabbi Yochanan says, if you bring it, he says a new problem. He says it's like bringing an oila without the flour offering that comes with an oila, or a korban, which is a shlama or an oila, without the libations. Because basically, you're not finishing them. Wow, I didn't realize.
Same idea.
Eina goymer es ha-mitzvah. Rashi says it often. It's an open Rashi. Rashi says, Eina goymer es ha-mitzvah. You're not finishing off your mitzvah. What mitzvah? That's a different mitzvah. I'm in the middle of my mitzvah of Kriyat Shema. Mitzvah of tefillin, I'll do in 2 minutes. No, Rashi says, I didn't realize. This Gemara, I think that is mamish saying that. Rashi says, you're not finishing the mitzvah of Kriyat Shema. It's lacking in you. It's like, imagine you go to the king, and the king says, how much do you pledge allegiance to me? So you sing him a song, he says, I don't see it wrapped around you. You don't really believe it. I told you that when you accept me as your master, you do a whole bunch of things. I see you doing only 1/3 of them. You're crying, you're saying it, you close your eyes, but you're not wearing it. So it's part of the mitzvah of Kabbalat ol malchut Shemayim is tefillin. Here's a pshat.
I just want to go back at it again and say, well, that's...
What do we do at night?
Hold on. If that's the case, what happens if I have my son right next to me here, and no, I have to also... The dibarta bam, you have to tell your kids, right? Also, now it's not also not part of it too. Don't play the tefillin card on me, and then I can't talk to my.
Very good. I was hoping you wouldn't ask that. I was thinking of that question. Very good. And Frank, very good. I was trying to get at it how I was thinking of a shot like this. You see, I'll tell you the truth. I was worried about that. I should have said it, but gets a little tricky because the Dibarta Bam is Kriyat Shema or is Torah. Don't tell me it's only Torah, because then how do you know they have to say Kriyat Shema? Where does it say in the Torah they have to say Kriyat Shema? It says Uv'shach b'chov k'mecha. Ma uv'shach b'chov k'mecha. Go sleep and wake up. What does it say? Where is it? It says V'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'peitecha v'lachta v'lach uv'shach b'chov k'mecha. V'dibarta bam. That's where it says to say it. So it's Kriyat Shema. But the pasuk is also talking about teaching your children Torah. V'shinantam livanecha v'dibarta bam. So it could be it's telling you, teach your children Kriyat Shema. That's the part of Torah you teach them. So if your son is sitting here, you're doing it. It's going to be it's good. Okay.
I can live with that.
Yeah. The Amar Rabbi Yochanan notes shekabel Oimach Shemaim Shlema Yifne v'yito yodo v'yanech tefillah v'yikir krishma v'yispalel. If someone wants to, Mamish unbelievable, I didn't realize. It's another Gemara that sounds like it. If someone wants to be mekabel himself, the yoke of heaven, properly, what would you say if I stop right there? You'd say a really good Kriyat Shema. Go to the mikveh before, cry, the aim of the year of the red is there, say Shema Yisrael. It says like this: relieve yourself, so the person's very clean. V'yitol yadav, wash yourself. V'yaniach tefillin, v'yikra Kriyat Shema, v'yitpalel. So you see that Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim encompasses tefillin, and even tefillah. V'zui Malchut Shemayim Shleima. So you should know what you're doing in the morning. You're not just doing a whole bunch of random things together. I do tzitzit, tefillin, kriyat shema, tefillah. No, it's one body of Kabbalat Ol Malchut Shemayim Shleima. If someone does all these things together, like we just said, it's as if he built the mizbeach and he sacrificed the korban. Echatz v'nikarion kapai va'asoveva et mizbachacha Hashem. I wash myself in cleanliness, which means when I wash my hands, it's from a clean body. And then I surround you mizbeach Hashem. Meaning, then when I say Kriyat Shema and Tefillin and Shemona Esrei, it's like I'm surrounding you mizbeach. You don't feel that he went to the mikveh? It's also like he went to the mikveh. Because it says, it doesn't say achitz kapai. Achitz would be more the language, maybe, I actually didn't understand it 100%. I was looking at the Rashi, maybe Amnon could tell us, in Diktuk, Echatz and achitz kapai. What's the difference?
Echatz myself, achitz I have someone do it for me.
Right. So, but Rashi,
we'll have it.
Rashi says echatz sounds more like the whole body, and achitz kapai is more. I think the difference is like the Mashal says that echatz b'nikayon means then there's kapai, but first echatz my whole body, kol gufo. So therefore, if a person, I don't know exactly the pshat in this Gemara, to tell you the truth. I don't have it 100% clearly, but it should have said achitz somewhere or other, and that would have been more just like washing hands. But this washing of your hands, and doing all these things, after the person goes to the bathroom and he kriyat shema tefillin, is more like he went to the mikveh. So this is a new way of going to the mikveh.
Wait, repeat that again.
That if a person, I don't have a clarity in this Gemara, maybe you can help me, that if a person relieves himself, then he washes his hands, puts tefillin on, says Kriyat Shema, and prays Shemona Esrei, it's as if Rava adds, not only is it like he built in his bech and brought a korban, but it's also as if he actually washed his whole body, taval, he immersed himself in the mikveh. The way that he derives it from the pasuk is not, I don't know where he got it from. Basically, a mikveh is like being reborn, right? It's a brand new connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So I guess there's a way to get a brand new connection from all these mitzvot together. The person really does it properly, and he's crying and he's davening Shemona Esrei with his real soul, his soul and his heart. That's like a mikveh. Maybe you could learn from here. That's how your mikveh has to be. If this mirrors a mikveh, so let your mikveh mirror a Shema and a Shemona Esrei. Don't just jump into the mikveh. In the mikveh, you think Hashem b'chol levav b'chol nafsh b'chol moedecha. Moedem anachloch. You say your Shemona Esrei. You say you go into the mikveh like you want to be a new person. Okay.
Maybe you substitute it and say that the washing of the hands You can say, or if you go to the mikvah. Meaning,
What do you mean?
look at the
Yeah.
erchatz b'nikayon.
Yeah.
Right? I wash my hands. Look at tav erchatz kapayim. You say I wash my hands.
Achitz kavai. It says echatz b'nikayon. How does the article explain it? I don't. Yeah.
Look at tav erchatz kapayim. That's what it says.
Right.
Parentheses.
Right.
But I'm just saying, I'm like, can you play with that and
Yeah.
throw that and go back into the last paragraph and say, no, maybe we replace wash hands with mikvah.
But I think, but look at the line before. Amalei Rava lo savar lamar ki'ilu toval. Don't you hold that it's as if he immersed himself, which means as if he immersed, without immersing. It's as if he immersed himself.
Okay.
Dichtiv, because it says this. Now I don't. Maybe on the bottom they say exactly how you learn it from here. You don't want it? Can I just leave it there? That's when you couldn't kappa is over there. 4. Achitz is more specific, a specific thing. My hands. Echatz means I'm washing. When you say echatz, it's more general, your whole body. So thus, in writing I wash, echatz, the scripture reckons a washing of the hands before prayer as an immersion of the person in a mikveh. Rashi, see further Masha. Beautiful. Okay, so the Gemara weiter. Says the Gemara weiter. Amalei Ravina l'Rava. Chazi mar haitzuv mirabban da'asim marava. Has Rava, has the master seen and see fit what this young scholar that came from Eretz Yisrael, the Oman said, Misha im mayim nirchitz yadav, if a person doesn't have water to wash his hands, mikaneach yadav be'afar, he just wipes them on the earth, with tzroy, with kismis, on a rack, or on some sort of a splinter, some sort of wood. That's good enough. Omalei, Shapik Omer. Rava said, that's a beautiful statement actually. Miksiv echatz b'mayim b'nikoyim. B'nikoyim ktiv. Does it say I'm going to wash in water? It says in cleanliness. Kol midid v'naki. Anything that cleans. The harav chizdolai taman mahader amaya b'idon. Dimatzli. What's the bach here? Idon sloister. Because Rav Chizda cursed a person that looked for water at the time of prayer. Because you don't pass the time of prayer. Don't look for water because you don't miss it. Just wipe your hands on something that cleans. The hani meaning the kriyat shema. That's only when it comes not for kriyat shema. Aval the tefillah which is not as important as kriyat shema because it's midrabanan. Rashi says an unbelievable Rashi. I don't know what he means. Rashi says tefillah you have the whole day.
What? Tefillah?
Tefillah
Yeah.
you have the whole day. You don't have the whole day. You have one more hour. But he means maybe like mamish with the I don't know what he means. So he says tefillah you have the whole day, but maybe Rashi means that kriyat shema is the raisa. Tefillah is midrabanan has an hour, but tefillah in the deraisa
Because Raman quotes it's only one a day.
exactly. So
Mina Torah.
Minat Torah and Minat Torah when in the Rambam when is it? Whenever.
Yeah.
So all these zmanim of tefillah is only midrabanan, but the zman of kriyat shema is midoraita. That's what I think Pshat and Rashi is. So therefore, for kriyat shema, don't go around looking for water. Aval, but for Shmona Esrei, but for Shmona Esrei, mehader.
It used to be like this a long time ago.
By the way, Michael,
Yeah.
if you see any soda, is there any soda here? And some cups. That'd be good.
Cups here.
Aval tefillah mehader, but for tefillah mehader. Oh, thank you. So for tefillah, you should go back. Be'ad kama ad parsa. How much? A whole parsa, which is 4 milin, Rabotai. 72 minutes. Now, that's only if it's on the way that you're traveling. Which means I want to go north, and I have to go 72 minutes ahead to look for something to wash the water. But to back up and retract my steps and to lose time, you don't even have to go back a whole meal, which is a quarter of a parsa, which is 18 minutes. Umina milu de. From that statement, we can derive that a meal he doesn't have to go back, but less than a meal, 17 and a half minutes, or 17 and 55 seconds, he has to go back. Okay, and that's the halacha brought down also in Shulchan Aruch. Let's go weiter. It's like the Heilige Mishnah. If someone reads Shema and he can't hear himself, he's whispering so low that he can't hear himself. Yotza. Lo yotza. The first shita is the shita we'll see soon. It's Rabbi Yehuda. If you read Kriyat Shema and he wasn't careful about the letters, you didn't say them out nicely, Rabbi Yossi Omer, it's fine. Now here Rabbi Yossi is the lenient one. Rabbi Yehuda Omer lo yatsa, he gets machir. Hakorei l'mafreya, if you read number backwards, you read the 5th pasuk before the 4th pasuk. For example, lo yatsa, kara v'ta'a, the person made a mistake. But he goes on and on and on. Then he says, you know what, I made a mistake way back in the middle of Kriyat Shema. So don't say that pasuk now, because that would be out of order. Rather, yachzor l'makom sheta'a, he goes back to where he made a mistake. Says the Gemara. All right. Mai ta'amad Rabbi Yossi mishum d'chtiv Shema. Lala. Right. Says the Gemara Kedosha, my time at the Rabbi Yossi. What's the reason that Rabbi Yossi said you have to hear yourself? You should nechtiv Shema. Hashmer le'azdacha ma she'atom mipicha. You remember this? We had this in the last block. Shema Yisrael, listen to what you're saying. Hear it. V'tanakama savar, Shema b'chol Hashem she'ata shomea. I think we should take a 2-minute break so people can wash. Otherwise it's going to be cold. Mm-hmm. Yeah? Yeah, you eat pizza while you learn. It's Kishma. Rabbi,
you gonna wash?
maybe later. Maybe the shit. Hey. Everybody back over there?
You went to the bathroom.
My twin Paul Shetzel needed to find a place to wash his hands. When they started, we'll talk about it. Measurebush, it's an amazing story. This is the place where, I guess we'll talk about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Still there? Okay, so the Gemara says, the Tanakama that holds that you don't have to hear it, Savar, Shema, B'chol Hashon Shata Shomea. Shema means whatever, however you hear it. In whatever language that you understand, right? Like that was the shita of the Rabbanon that argued with Rebbe on the last blot. But we don't hear from the word Shema. You have to actually hear it. Rabbi Yossi. So what does Rabbi Yossi say back? Rabbi Yossi tati Shema mina. Rabbi Yossi agrees with the Chachamim. You could say it in any language from the word Shema, but he says if you could say it in any language that you understand, what's the point of understanding it if you can't hear it? So obviously it means both things. Now what the Chachamim say back to it's a good question. That's the machloket. Okay, now Rabotai, here we're going to bring about 2-3 cases, and we have to juggle who. So you just have to hold on a little. You have to hold your head over here a little bit. Not very hard, but you can't lose focus. Tanan Hata. There's a Mishnah. The deaf person who is not deaf and dumb, just deaf. So he has that, but he still should not take off the truma. Why not? Because it's the bracha, and he can't hear his bracha. Right? You won't hear it. But if he took off truma, it's still, he took off the right, he took off truma. But he shouldn't do it. The chatchila, he shouldn't do it. But b'di'evet it's good. Remember that. The truma story is l'chatchila not proper because you can't hear the bracha if the person is deaf. B'di'evad, of course, it's truma. So man tam who is this man the Omer that says the b'di'evad it's okay, it was done, but l'chatchila don't do it. Omer avchiz the Rabbi Yossi ditnan, as we learned in our Mishnah, hakoyre shema v'lo yishmiya la'oznoi yotzo divrei. Is the Bach here? Rabbi Yossi divrei yotzo. Without the words divrei Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi omer lo yotzo. So therefore, we said the Gemara says like this: Ad kan lekom Rabbi Yossi lo yotzo legavi kriyashna deridaisto. Our Rabbi Yossi in our Mishnah says that if you don't hear yourself, you're not yotzeh because it's kriyashna, it's deoraita. Aval truma mishum brachahu. But truma, which is only the Rabbanan, because it's a bracha, u'bracha the Rabbanan, v'lo bebracha tal yemilta. And the truma's effect is not contingent on the bracha. So Rabbi Yossi says like this: don't do it, because I hold that you're not going to get the bracha if you don't hear yourself, just like by Kriyat Shema. But if you did it, of course it's going to work, because it's not about the bracha. The truma is not about the bracha. The truma is about the truma, taking off. So lechatchila not, but b'di'evet did. So that's the shita of Rabbi Yossi. Says the Gemara, who says? U'mimayit Rabbi Yossi, he dilm Rabbi Yehuda. Maybe it's Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda that said in our Mishnah that you are yotzeh if you don't hear yourself. The Omer gabi kriyash manami the evedin lechatchila lo. Maybe Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah that says you yotzeh, that's only because he's saying b'di'evet you yotzeh. But lechatchila, no. Which means the machloket in our Mishnah, Rabbi Yehuda says everybody holds you shouldn't do it. Even Rabbi Yehuda, he just says if you did it, you're yotzeh kriyat shema. Rabbi Yossi says even b'di'evet you're not. And Rabbi Yehuda then goes ahead and says by teruma lechatchila lo b'di'evedin. just like he does by Kriyat Shema. And that would be a beautiful match. Rabbi Yossi would say, nothing doing by Teruma. At all. And the Gemara says, Teidan, I'll prove to you that Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah that said Yatzah doesn't really hold that it's Lechatchila, just Yatzah. Why? The Ketani HaKoreh, the Avad in Lechatchila lo. It's, look at our Mishnah. Our Mishnah starts with HaKoreh et Shema v'lo Yishmiya does no Yatzah. If someone read, if you did read like in a story that happened already, b'di Avad. So maybe the whole Mishnah is b'di Avad, but Lechatchila lo. And then it would match very nicely to Teruma. So the Gemara says, Amri Haide Katani Akore do Diacha Koch Der Biasi. No. Where's your proof from? For the fact that it says Hakore, like the Diavad story, like he's doing it, he's in the middle of reading it, but he really lechatchila not to do it? No. The only reason why it says that is the only reason why it speaks about a case of the Diavad is to show you that Rabbi Yossi says Diavad Damido. That when Rabbi Yossi says Lo Yatzah, he means even if it happened. The Ir Rabbi Yehuda Afilu Chatchila Nami Yatzah. The Gemara is going back to what it's held before. Rabbi Yehuda holds you Yotze even Lichatchila. And therefore, Rabbi Yehuda cannot be the man the Omar of Teruma, that the deaf man should Lichatchila not take off Teruma because he won't be Yotze the Bracha, because he won't hear himself. Because according to Rabbi Yehuda, he doesn't have to hear himself, it's fine. Just like by Kriyat Shema, you don't have to hear yourself. So the Gemara says, B'mayo kimta, Rabbi Yossi? Okay, so what do you want? You want to establish the Braita of Teruma like Rabbi Yossi, and Rabbi Yossi is saying across the board that, by Teruma, not across the board, by Teruma, b'diavad he'll be Yotzeh because he took the Teruma. By Kriyat Shema he won't be Yotzeh. There's a Braita that says, you shouldn't say Birkat HaMazon in your heart. But if you did, it's okay. Now, who's that like? Mani lo Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda. It's not like Rabbi Yossi, not like Rabbi Yehuda. Di Rabbi Yehuda ha'amar l'chatchila nami yatza. You're telling me that Rabbi Yehuda holds l'chatchila, bench in your heart. You don't have to hear anything. Okay? And if it's Rabbi Yossi is the opposite extreme, you told me. You told me that Rabbi Yossi by Kriyat Shema holds what? That you're not Yotze even b'diavad. Now you find some middle ground Braita that says, Chatchila don't do it like that, but b'diavad by Birkat HaMazon. Okay, that's nobody. Because Rabbi Yehuda is one extreme that everything's great, and Rabbi Yossi says nothing's good. So who's Birkat HaMazon going to be like? Now, don't say, well, what about Teruma? It's also a middle ground. Because Teruma, we said, is Rabbi Yossi. How does that work with Rabbi Yossi? Because Teruma is not contingent on the bracha. The bracha you're not going to get at all. But at least to get to Teruma. But the Birkat HaMazon, which is contingent on the words, because that's what the whole mitzvah is, it doesn't fit. It's in nishtahir, nishtaher. So the Gemara says, Elamai. So what do you want? Says the Gemara. So what does Gemara say? So what do you want? What are you pushing for? You're pushing for your old answer for Rabbi Yehuda. You want to make Rabbi Yehuda the one that by Kriyat Shema says you're yoytze but only b'diavad, but lechatchila not. So the Gemara says, and that's the one that's going to, and Rabbi Yehuda will now fit for the Braita of Birkat HaMazon, the b'diavad you're yoytze but lechatchila not. So the Gemara says the b'diavad in lechatchila lo. So then what do you do with the following Braita? Elahad Tami Rabbi Yehuda b'nei Rabbi Shimon Pazi. Rabbi Yehuda, the son of Rabbi Shimon Pazi, says, and can't, in the same case, no problem. He could say the bracha. What's with the bracha? He doesn't have to hear it. No problem. So now, you just made, what did we do? We made the Mishnah into like that nobody's really excited about it. The Chatchila don't do it. B'diavad, Rabbi Yehuda says it's okay. That's what you try to do to the Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah. right? To make him work with Birkat HaMazon. But then who's Rabbi Yehuda Berei Rabbi Shimon Pazi going to work with? Suddenly we found a shita that says L'chatchila. Now you don't have a shita of L'chatchila in our Mishnah anymore. Mani loy Rabbi Yehuda loy Rabbi Yosi, because if it's Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda ha'amad di'evet L'chatchila loy. And Rabbi Yosi ha'amad di'evet nami loy. If it's Rabbi Yosi, he says for sure not. Elo lo'olam Rabbi Yehuda ve'afilu L'chatchila nami. Gemara is going back to what it said originally. L'chatchila nami, which means that Rabbi Yehuda holds you could say Kriya Shema l'chatchila without hearing it. And who is, but now we're left with the problem of Birkat HaMazon. The lo kasha. Hadidei hadirabei. So Rabbi Shimon Pazi is like Rabbi Yehuda. They're l'chatchila. But Birkat HaMazon is a shita of his Rebbe. The Tanah, Rabbi Yehuda Omer Mishum Rebbe Lozer ben Azariah, which was his rabbi. HaKorei Shema tzarich sheishma le'azno. The Gemara is understanding tzarich, shenemar. Tzarich means you have to. You have to. You have to. But if you don't, it's okay. Tzarich. Shenemar, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Shema, you should listen, if you can. So, I know it's a lot of berachot, but we'll put them together like this. Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah holds the Chatchila. Rabbi Yehuda Berei Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi said the Chatchila, that's like Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah. Teruma, that says, don't send a deaf person because he's going to say bracha, doesn't work with them because they have no problem with it. So it's Rabbi Yosi, which holds that the bracha won't work. That's why you shouldn't send the deaf guy. But the Teruma will work because we don't need the bracha. Birkat HaMazon is Rabbi Yehuda's rabbi, which is Rabbi Lozer ben Azariah, which says that Kriyat Shema, which is really the prototype, the Av that we learn everything from, is Sarich, but b'di'evad you yotze. Omar le Reb Meir, Harei oimer asher anoichi mitzavcha hayon ala vavecha. The end of that bright is that Reb Meir had another shita. He said, it says ala vavecha. The mitzvah is in your heart. Acha kavanat alev. The words go after your heart, and you don't have to say them. So the Gemara says, "Oh, hasha da'adat lahachi." Once you came to this, afilu teim Rabbi Yehuda k'rabei tzvirlei. Now you can make Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah by Kriyat Shema like his Rebbe. You don't have to say that he argues with his rabbi. You can make him like Rabbi Lozer ben Azariah, that the halacha of saying Kriyat Shema in a way that's audible is like his rabbi. It's din lechatchila. And only b'diavad, excuse me, it's a lechatchila you have to, b'diavad you yotze. And in our Mishnah when he said it's good, he only meant b'diavad. Then if you make Rabbi Yehuda like his rabbi, then who in the world is the shita of Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi that said that you can be torem l'chatchila? We don't care about hearing anything in our ears. The shita of Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi, which actually not Rabbi Shimon, it's Rabbi Yehuda Berei Rabbi Shimon ben Pazi, is the shita of Rabbi Meir. Rabbi Meir clearly says that we don't have to hear anything. Okay, I can go weiter. I don't know if you want to go weiter. I can go weiter. I mean, I think we should. Even though it's difficult, because tomorrow morning is the new. We have to be on schedule. Yeah. I'm gonna. Yes. We're almost behind it. Yeah. Okay. Great. Tell me about Dai. This week, Hayden Lake is standing on a different thing. Standing on the Amud of Torah. The beginning night, people are learning here a block and a half, Be'ezut Hashem, of Torah. It doesn't happen so often here. It's a Torah B'Rabim. It's something very special. Tanan Hatam. You have to feel very proud of yourself, and you have to tell your wives that this is that you're special.
You're special or we're special?
Yeah, can we record you?
Record it. Just send her the link.
The wife, yeah, she's not going to know by herself. You have to tell her.
You can get home, go to sleep. She's not going to see you, and then tomorrow morning run out to do the daf again. What's the difference?
Tomorrow is 7:35, right?
7:40.
7:40?
7:35.
Megillah. Okay, now this is basically kind of the same type of Gemara that we just went through. So if you got that one, this one should flow. Everybody can read the Megillah. Besides a deaf, a crazy person, lacking, I don't know what they call a fool, the katan and a child. Rabbi Yehuda machshir katan. He says a katan can read. Tosfot wants to know what type of katan are we talking about exactly, and why could a katan do it? Maybe it's higil chinuch. Fine, it's not us to get right this minute. So the Gemara says, "Man tamach cheresh ki eved nami." Who says that the cheresh here can't do it at all? Now, what's wrong with the cheresh doing it? The cheresh, he has that, but he just can't hear it. So big deal. So he can't hear it. How about Rabbi Yossi? That's Rabbi Yossi. Titnana cheresh shemavli shmilo ozno yotzo. Give Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yossi amilo yotzo. Rabbi Yossi says you're not yotzei. Says the Gemara, Umi Maid Rabbi Yossi Yehudi Eved Nami Loi. So who told you that when it says here that a cheresh doesn't lane the Megillah? Lane, you know what I mean when I say lane?
Yeah.
He reads the Megillah. It's a Yiddish word. Dilm Rabbi Yehuda hi ulechatchila huduloi hadi Eved Shaper. Maybe that Mishnah in Megillah is just saying like this: everybody can read the Megillah, but cheresh lechatchila not. But the Eved yoytze, and that shit is Rabbi Yehuda. So the Rebbe said, don't let that enter your mind. The Katani, because it says cheresh do me the shayt v'katan. Cheresh is placed next to shayt v'katan, so it should be similar. Just like shota v'katan, ma shota v'katan the Eved nami loy. That's even with the Eved, it won't work. It's not lechatchila because they don't have that. Av cheresh the Eved nami loy. So cheresh also. Where it says maybe not. V'dil mahod kadita v'hod kadita. Maybe differentiate. You know, each one is in its own category. This one is b'di'evid, it works, but lechatchila not. And the other two are b'di'evid also not. Umar says, "Umi matzis l'ukum Rabbi Yehuda." Then how would you be able to say it's Rabbi Yehuda? If the Sefer in that Mishnah says that Rabbi Yehuda has a dissenting opinion, that means he wasn't speaking until now. So it's not Rabbi Yehuda. So it must be it's Rabbi Yossi. So the Gemara says, one second. V'dilma kula Rabbi Yehuda u'trei gavni kotam. Maybe the whole thing is Rabbi Yehuda. And there really are two types of kotams going on in the Mishnah, and there's missing words. The chisurim mechaser, the hachik tanim. This is the way you read it. Hakol ksherim l'kasidam megillah chutz mecheresh shoyte the kotam. And Rabotai, dvar mamurim bekotam shelo yigia lechinuch. And by the way, the cheresh here it's all Rabbi Yehuda. The cheresh is going to be lechatchila not, but b'di'evid it works. The shoyte the kotam will not work at all. But the Mishnah will say, Medron, what type of cotton? A cotton that was not a gil chinuch. Aval cotton she gil chinuch, but a cotton that reached chinuch, apilu lechatchila kosher. Even lechatchila is okay. Divri Rabbi Yehuda, she Rabbi Yehuda machshe b'cotton. Now, Tosfos, by the way, says the Gemara is going like this and adding words to a Mishnah. And making that two opinions one opinion, to make the whole Mishnah one Tana. It's not like we're stuck. If we were stuck, I understand. It must be that's the pshat because the Mishnah has to make sense. But we have a mahalach. We have a way. We could just say the Mishnah is Rabbi Yossi, and the Mishnah means b'di'eved a cheresh cannot read the Megillah. Why are you pushing for this? and you're doing such acrobats over here. It's like, so the Gemara says, Tosfos says, because the Gemara is going to say soon that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. If the halacha follows Rabbi Yehuda, then the Gemara will push to try to make a Mishnah be la halacha that Rabbi picked the halacha. That's what Tosfos says. It's a very fundamental Tosfos, top Tosfos over here. Okay. So the Gemara says, okay, so what do you want over here? The Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda, Udi Evedin Lechatchila Loi. You're saying it's Rabbi Yehuda that the Cheirish really could read the Megillah B'di Eved, and when the Mishnah says not to do it, it's only Lechatchila. Elohod Toni Rabbi Yehuda B'rei Rabbi Shimon Pazi. Cheirish Hamidav Ben Shimon Term Lechatchila. We have Rabbi Yehuda, the name of Rabbi Shimon Pazi, that says the Shita that even Lechatchila Mani Loi Rabbi Yehuda Loi Rabbi Yosi. And now it doesn't come out like anyone, because even Rabbi Yehuda, the lenient opinion holds that L'chatchila you have to hear yourself. So this new sheet is not like nobody. Either Rabbi Yehuda the Evedin L'chatchila loy, even L'chatchila not. Either Rabbi Yossi the Evedin nami loy. Elamai Rabbi Yehuda v'afil L'chatchila nami. So what do you want to say? That Elamai Rabbi Yehuda holds even L'chatchila by Kriya Shema. And the sheet of Rabbi Shimon Pazi, Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Shimon Pazi, is like Rabbi Yehuda that Lechatchila also. So Elohod the Tanya Lo Yivorachot the Bichas Hamazon B'Liba V'Im Berach Yotzo Mani Lo Yehuda V'Lebeisi. So what do you do with the Bichas Hamazon? The Bichas Hamazon is in between. Now you're telling basically whichever way you go, I'm going to find you a Brisa or a Mishnah that goes the other way, and you're not going to be able to put it in. Rabbi Yehuda Ha'amar Afilu Lechatchila Nami. He's an extremist. He says even Lechatchila you could, and Rabbi Yossi is also the opposite extreme. Rabbi Yossi Ha'amar Afilu Yevad Nami. Gemara says, "Loy, but Rabbi Yehuda he vafilu lechatchila nami." But like Kasha, how did they Rabbi Yehuda goes like Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Shimon Pazi lechatchila, but the Birchas Hamazon Bryce is going to go like Rabbi Yehuda's Rebbe, which said the Tanya on Rabbi Yehuda B'Shur Rabbi Loza Ben Azariah, Hakol Shema Tzorich Sheyashmir LaOznoi. Tzorich is a lashon of lechatchila. Shenemar Shema Yisrael. Amal Meir Haroyomer Masher Rechim Tzachayim Alav Avecha. Achar Salev Heinen Advar. So therefore, that's the shita of Birchas Hamazon is Rabbi Loza Ben Azariah, which holds only lechatchila yes, but not the end. Says the Gemara, Hashem Doas is Lahachi. Once you're telling me there's a shita called Rabbi Meir, I feel the time Rabbi Yehuda Krabes, we literally kasha Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Meir. I can make Rabbi Yehuda Berei Rabbi Shimon Ben Pazi that said lechatchila, like Rabbi Meir, which says that it's lechatchila because the prototype Shema doesn't even have a halacha. You have to say it. And Rabbi Yehuda himself in our Mishnah of Kriyat Shema could be going like his Rebbe, which says only lechatchila you should hear it, but with the Eved it's good. I'm very sorry that I went so fast through this. I'm sorry. I know it was too fast. Okay. I know. And I'm not naive. I know.
I do that sometimes.
Sure, you can put tape on. You can put it on slow. I think, right? You can put slow. Okay.
Worst case scenario, Hashem will teach us in July over 20 years.
Well, now that you tried,
When we
then
do
you have
this
it
again,
in
it's 7 or
Tzfar,
8.
right?
Huh?
It says in Tzfar, such a thing.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
Or
know.
a person works on it once and he doesn't get it, then they'll give it to him.
Yeah.
You also have time on this road.
I know what this is.
Reviews.
So
Stop yoga. That's like.
no one's in a rush now to go there. I told you, they're burying people in the drawers now. So I was on the mountain over there. I was looking at it. I told my mother. I was at my father's cave. I looked across. I was with my brother. I was like, I don't want to die. He's like, oh, you don't want to die? Okay, fine. And he says, okay. So the Gemara is like this. Omanav Chizda, Omanav Shilo. Much easier Gemara now, everybody say. And I'm even going to stop by the two dots over here to make it that we should. The halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda. She'omar Mishum Rabbi Loza Ben Azariah. The halacha is Rabbi Yehuda. Now, you just said two things. For the Gemara, you have to say both. The Iyashmi in an halacha Rabbi Yehuda, Havamina Afil Lechatchila. Then I would say even Lechatchila. Because Rabbi Yehuda sounds like Lechatchila. Kamashim halacha Rabbi Yehuda, She'omar Mishum Rabbi Loza Ben Azariah. That Lechatchila you cannot say Kriyat Shema in an inaudible fashion. And if I would have just said that, I would have said, Tzorich the Ele Takona. This is interesting to me, but you would have said that Tzorich means even b'di'evet. So I have to teach you that Tzorich doesn't mean that. Tzorich means, how do I do that? By telling you, Kamashon Halacha Rabbi Yehuda. Now that I'm adding those words, obviously I'm trying to teach you that there is a way that b'di'evet you yotze. Omer Rav Yosef, Machloikis b'kriyat Shema. Kriyat Shema. Al b'shar mitzvot divrei hakol lo yatza. All other mitzvot, you're not yotze if you don't hear it. Dichtiv hasket u'shma Yisrael. On all the general mitzvahs, you have to hear yourself saying. Meitve says the Gemara, lo yivarech adam b'kat hamazon b'libo v'yimberech yatza. How can Rabbi Yosef say that all other mitzvot, you don't have to hear it, if it says clearly that a person should not say b'kat hamazon in his heart, but if he does, he's yotzeh. How could you say? I thought you had a pasuk that says hasket u'shma Yisrael. But if anything, Rav Yosef said it like this: Amar Rav Yosef, machloket b'kriyat Shema d'chtiv Shema Yisrael, avol b'shar mitzvot divrei hakol yatza. In all other mitzvot, over here there might be machloket, but over there Rabbi Yossi will agree that you're yatza. Ve'achtiv asket Shema Yisrael. It says by all the other mitzvot Shema Yisrael. You have to hear it. Ha'u b'divrei Torah aktiv. That's only speaking about the divrei Torah. Divrei Torah, when you learn Torah, you have to make sure you say it. It's very important. To crush it in your mouth. The Gemara says in Perek HaRov later on. Kittu atzman al divrei Torah. But all the other mitzvot, you're yotzei even without hearing it. Tosfot asks. I thought we learned out all the mitzvot, Truma, Megillah, Birkat Hamazon, from Kriyat Shema. So if you're telling me that by Kriyat Shema, you have to hear it. So what about all the other mitzvot? So he says that Yosef is arguing on everything we just said, on the whole last sugya. He says all the other mitzvot are not learned from Kriyat Shema. And if you read Shema and you're not careful with saying the words properly, we follow both shitot in our Mishnah, both shitot that are lenient. Regarding if you don't hear it, we go with Rabbi Yehuda, it says Yotzeh. And regarding not reading it carefully, we go with Rabbi Yossi that says Yotzeh. We go lenient in both ways. The Omer Avteli, one last piece. Omer Avteli, Omer Avishur, Mai Dechtiv, Shalot Heina Lo Tizbana. Then the pasuk says, Abba Lo Amrohom, She'ol ve'otzer lacham. She'ol ve'otzer lacham. Right, the pasuk is lacham there. That's how it says it. It's talking about a recham, but it says lacham. So, She'ol means the kever. Racham means the womb. What do they have to do with each other, these two things? He wants to understand this pasuk. Now, why are we learning this, by the way? The answer is because it's the Manda Omer Av Tevi Omer Av Yosher, the same Manda that just told us the last halacha, halacha K'div B'Shtein L'Hakel, also teaches us this. So therefore, he told us, what does the kever, a person's burial plot, have to do with the womb? Just like the womb has things entering, the zera and motzi, and it brings out a child. So too, the kever has things coming in and being motzi by tchiyat hamesim. Says the Gemara, it's a kal v'chomer. Umar rechem shemachnisim lo b'chashoy, meaning the fashion that it's going to motzi, right, bring forth by tchiyat hametim, will be in a kal v'chomer from the way of the rechem. Umar rechem shemachnisim lo b'chashoy. When the zera enters, it's all in privacy. Motzi'im mimenu mikol kolot, when the child comes out, he comes out with a lot of noises from the mother. So she'ol shemachnisim bo b'kolei kolot. When people bury someone, there's a lot of crying from the eulogies. So for sure, when it comes out, there's going to be such great noise. What type of noise? Happiness, joy. Mikan teshuvah le'omrim ein chiyat hamitim al-Torah. This is the answer to those who dare say that there's no chiyat hamitim in our Torah. Here we have it, Rabotai. Chazak Baruch. Okay.